Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kim's Scholarship and Journey. Today we're going to study one of the important parables in Lukan Gospel, that is the Pharisee and tax collector. So let me share my PowerPoint screen. Overview. In this parable, we see two different characters, right? It's a very simple parable in a certain way. So two very different persons and also two very different prayers, right? So this implies two very different attitudes toward God and others. So the Pharisee is so self-centered and he has a naive theology of God and others. Certainly he has nonchalance, right? Indifference toward others. And he also is in the mode of competition with others, right? So self-centered perspective he has. Whereas the tax collector feel very sorry about, and he's very introspective and feeling unworthy before God. His prayer is so short, and he's seeking the mercy of God. So let's read Luke 18, 9 through 14. He also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves, that they were righteous and regarded others with contempt. So this is actually a comment by Luke, right? It's not the part of the original parable of Jesus. Luke, includes Jesus' parable for a certain purpose. That is what he told this parable to some who trusted in themselves, that they were righteous and regarded others with contempt. Right? So Luke includes now this parable, this blue color, this probably coming from the lips of Jesus. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, was praying, "Thus, God, I thank you that I'm not like other people," right? He's comparing, with other people. He compares himself with other people. That's really interesting. Also, he stands by himself, was praying and saying that, "God, I thank you," right? Thank you is a good thing. I mean, we have to thank God. But he's saying, "I'm not like other people." Who are other people? He enumerates, right? Other people here, such as thieves, rogues, adulterers, or even like this tax collector, meaning what? Someone tax collector standing behind him, right? He is aware of someone is standing behind him. I'm unlike this tax collector who stands behind me, right? I'm unlike him, so I'm so thankful. That's really interesting. He goes on to take pride in himself. Verse 12, I fast twice a week. That's a good thing, right? Fasting itself is nothing wrong. He did it. I mean, he fasted twice a week. That's hard thing. That's good thing. That's good spiritual discipline. I admire it. And he also says, I give a tenth of all my income. That's good thing, right? Good practice. Now 13. Now here's another man. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even look up to heaven, but was beating his breast and saying, where else we see in the Lukan Gospel, okay? On the scene of Jesus' crucifixion, right? After Jesus was crucified, the crowds and people gathering there, they beat their breast because now they realize that, they killed someone who is innocent, right? Beating the breast. So he also, this tax collector was beating his breast and saying, God, he even, did not think of thanking God, because he can't thank God, right? Because he felt so sorry. He know what he did. So God, maybe very weak voice, God, be merciful to me. Have mercy on me. Be merciful to me, a sinner, because I am a sinner. Where else do you see in Lukan Gospel someone who's saying, I am a sinner? Luke chapter 5, right? Jesus called Peter, right? So on the sea, Jesus taught him how to catch a fish, right? And all of a sudden, a storm came, the boat began to sink, and Peter was so terrified and kneeling at Jesus' feet, he's saying, well, move away from me, right? Jesus, I am a sinner. Depart from me. I'm afraid. I'm a sinner. Move away from me. Leave me. So Peter said that. Peter realized that he was so small, right? He felt so unworthy. Somehow he realized who Jesus was to him and how small he was. So something like here, this tax collector saying, praying to God, God, be merciful to me, have mercy on me, I'm a sinner. I don't know what to do. Now 14, I tell you, for Jesus saying, this man who, the tax collector, went down to his home justified, rather than the other, who, the Pharisee. That's really kind of reversal, right? In society or in the community, certainly the Pharisee is the one who is admired because he does so good things, spiritually, in so many ways. He's seen by others, okay? He's a good guy. But the tax collector, all knows that tax collector is usually what? Corrupt, right? It's bad man. But somehow this tax collector came to the temple and he prayed to God most humbly, authentically, okay? He realized that he was nothing and small, no one, so he sought the mercy of God. Because of that, he is declared now to be the one who is justified. Now, for all who exalt themselves will be humbled, and for all who humble themselves will be exalted. I italicized this part to indicate that probably this part did not come from Jesus directly, but Luke probably made comments, added, okay? It's Lukan comments. Now, interpretive issues. Evaluate the Pharisee's prayer. In what sense is it good? Yeah, there are some good elements of prayer, right? He does pray very well. In some sense, he has good model of prayer. Yes, good elements, forms. But in what sense is it not good, right? Somehow, his prayer is not the very model. So, we have to evaluate the Pharisee's prayer, both in good and bad ways. Evaluate the tax collector's prayer. His prayer is, by the way, very short, so curt, right? So abrupt, curt. And why does he say that? Does he say that he is a sinner? What sin? Okay. What sin does he confess? What's wrong with him? And then the other question is, right, we have to think about the true prayer. What does true prayer look like? Right? What is prayer? What true prayer look like? What is justification? Because the tax collector is justified now by God. Based on what? Right? Who can be justified? What are the qualifications of conditions for that? So lastly, reflection. So we already saw, right, all these things. So what are conditions or features of authentic prayer, right? Authentic prayer. What did the Pharisee lack in his prayer? Rethink the concept of a justification. Okay? How can one be in a good relationship with God and others. So this is the end of my video. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and continue to reflect on this marvelous, very challenging parable. Thanks so much for watching this video, and there are a lot of videos in my play list in the YouTube channel, and use and watch all of them. Thanks so much.